Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are fucking back. We're back, and we're back for real this time. I promise. I promise we're back for real this time. We got a beautiful event, UFC 327 coming up, and I know Joshua Van against Tatsuto Taira got canceled. I was ready to make this video on it, but unfortunately, it's gonna have to wait another month for UFC 328. That card now, though, is a fucking banger of a card, and I'm so looking forward to it, as I was looking forward to this one. This is still a pretty good card, but without this second title fight, having Paulo Costa now on your co-main event, again, somehow, it kind of loses a bit of its spark. But hey, fuck it, we ball. The fight that we're going to talk about today, though, is going to be a good fucking fight. And I know right here it says this is not a hard fight to pick, which I really don't think it is. But that's not to say that it isn't going to be a good fight, that, we're not going to see some adversity from both sides. But without further ado, enough of the yip yapping. We're going to get straight into it. This is going to be a really good fight. Alex Pereira is moving up to heavyweight, and so now we have a vacant light heavyweight title. And I think these are two names that, deserve for the most part. Both names that are coming off good wins, some better than others. But I'd say, barring maybe Magomed Ankalaev, these two are the most deserving of this vacant title fight. And Magomed just fought for the title, so this just makes a lot of sense. But let's get into each guy. Jiří fucking Prochazka, man. What to say about Jiří Procházka? This guy's a fucking G. And as you see right here, this guy's the biggest fucking dog in the UFC. Like, if you want to go to war with someone, if you want someone to go to war with you right next to you, you're going to fucking call Jiří Procházka. This guy is a fucking G. Short notice fight. Doesn't matter. As we saw in UFC 303 against Pereira. Ultimately got knocked out. But this guy at moments just decides to fucking turn it on when he's on fights. He'll be losing a couple rounds and then he's just like, oh yeah, I'm fucking fighting. Let me just fucking turn it on and get after it. This guy's a fucking dog. He's going to go out there. He's going to go straight. He's going to throw straight fucking hands. And if you don't want to catch him, you're going to end up catching him. So, yeah, this guy's a fucking dog. This guy's a fucking G. Whatever you want to call him. I know I'm cursing a lot, but this guy is a top dog. Probably one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, and for good reason. Moving on, to actually, some skills that we have, not just, pure willpower. He's got what we call Aura Farm defense. And now I know you may be asking, Halo MMA, what the fuck is Aura Farm defense? He'll move his head a lot for sure, especially after that Jamal Hill fight. We saw that he was able to move his head a lot, kind of be able to, move in and out. But sometimes, he's going to move his head, but he's going to move his head into the jab. He's going to duck down, but he wants to eat the jab. And he wants to eat the jab because then he'll get a rise out of himself, as we saw against Killer Roundtree. If he's gonna hit you with the huh, is that all you got? Is that all you got? Huh. You guys know what I'm talking about. You saw it in the Killer Roundtree fight. He hit him with the jab, he hit him with the slick 1-2, and then he was like, huh, oh yeah, that's all you got? That's all you got? So that's what we call Aura Farm defense. A lot of people associate Aura Farm with, it being good, but in this case, it's just kind of for show. He's going to move his head, and sometimes he'll move his head, and against slower guys, which I'll get to here in a little bit, it's going to work. He's going to move his head, and then he's going to be able to predict where the punch is going, and he's going to move his head where he needs to. But, sometimes, like I said, he's going to move his head right into the jab, but that even works too, because like I said, he's aura farming, but he's aura farming to get himself going. He's getting hit to get himself going. So this is what we call aura farm defense. Not great defense, but the aura farm, the clicks, the hype, it's there. It's gonna be there, and we're probably gonna see it against Carlos Oberg, because Carlos Oberg is a very technical guy. and he knows to pick his spots. So I think we're gonna see a bit of that overwhelm defense from Jiří Procházka in this fight. But getting into some serious, you know, X's and O's, this guy seems to work better on the counter versus slower guys. Like I said, like we saw against Jiří Procházka, he was able to duck his head back, get that cross in, get that 1-2 in. And he loves to work off the counter, but when he's going up against a guy like Alex Pereira, where the speed is a little bit there, and even against Khalil Roundtree, where the speed was in favor of Khalil, we saw how he kind of struggled a little bit. He struggled a little bit to get going. So if it's against a slower guy, he'll work a lot better off the counter. And I think this is just a personal opinion. When he's fighting against faster guys, he needs to be the one proposing. He needs to be the one on the front foot, because if not, he's gonna get tagged up. And working with the counter there is just not gonna work as much as it does against a slower guy like Jiri, against Jamal Hill, against a Dominic Reyes, against Alexander Rakic, which I think they were comparable in terms of speed. But like I said, he was getting touched up there a little bit in the first and second round. And so, yeah, this guy, he's just going to work better against someone in Cole's Oberg, where I think it's going to be similar to Rakic, where they're going to have similar speed. And he's going to have to work both. He's going to have to work off the counter, and he's going to have to work, going forward. And I think where he will have more success is when he moves forward and proposes to Carlos Ulberg. And I actually do think that Jiří Procházka is just underrated in a lot of areas. I think his ground game never gets talked about, and for good reason. He's never on the ground. But the fact that he's able to submit, albeit a 40-plus-year-old Glover Teixeira, he fucking submitted Glover Teixeira. He was hurt as well. He was stunned. He was wobbled. But he fucking submitted Glover Teixeira. And these guys are training jiu-jitsu every day of the fucking week. So even when they're hurt, even when they're stunned, even when they're wobbled, they know how to defend. And Jiří Procházka is no slouch on the ground. And I think if it goes to the ground, I think I'm gonna favor Jiří Procházka. I don't think it's gonna get there, but if it does, I will favor Jiri. He might even need to go for a takedown or two at some point. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how crazy this fight gets. And I think the main thing, his cardio is really, really underrated. And I just think it's pure fucking willpower. Like I said, the first point goes with my fourth point. This guy just doesn't fucking give up. He doesn't give up. It could be round 1 or it could be round 5. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna fucking outdog you. He's gonna outcard you. He's gonna he's gonna out volume you. He's gonna try it. And he's one of those guys where he'll get rich or die trying. That's how it goes for Jiří Procházka. And let me know what you guys think. I switched it up a little bit now on these notes for these fighters, for these predictions. I'm going to have their style that they fight in, the notes, and storylines going in. I didn't really have a storyline for Jiří Procházka, but if there was a storyline, this guy has never lost in the UFC to someone not named Alex Pereira. Can he keep that going? Can he become a 2-time champ? Can he come back? We'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait for my prediction at least. I think that's the biggest storyline going in. Can he continue that streak of beating guys not named Alex Pereira? Carlos Oberg is a really good opponent, and we're going to get to see. Speaking of, Alex Pereira, this guy's not Alex Pereira. Speaking of Carlos Oberg, this guy's just known for his simpleton's game. His name is Carlos Simpleton Oberg. Fuck Kangaroo, or whatever his name is. This guy's Carlos Simpleton Oberg. He's a 1-2 calf kick merchant. And this might come off as a bad thing. This isn't a bad thing. This is what works for him. This is what got him to the top. This is what made him beat guys like Jan Blachowicz, Dominic Reyes. I mean, he fucking knocked out Dominic Reyes with the Simpletons 1-2. Simpletons 1-2 was enough to knock out Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes, does he have the best chin? No, he doesn't. But he was able to knock him out with the Simpletons game of 1-2. The calf kick's going to get going. And yeah, this is pretty much all you need to know about the striking game of Carlos Oberg. The ground game, it's pretty non-existent as well. with these light heavyweights, ground game is basically non-existent. Even with guys like Magomed Ankalaev, he doesn't go to the ground. These guys are pure strikers, and I love it. I'm here for it. And at least we won't get anyone bitching and complaining about, people going to the ground. Which there is times where that's valid, but not at light heavyweight. We're going to see this guy Simpleton's 1-2 calf kick game against Jiří Procházka. And a game like that is going to work against Jiří Procházka. Because another thing to note about Carlos Oberg, he is really fucking accurate. He is really accurate. And he's going to find his range. He's going to find his range. He's going to pick his moments. And he does that well. I think he does that really well. And I think that will have success against a guy like Jiří Procházka that the defense isn't there 100%. The defense is not something that you brag about. And so when you face a guy, when Jiří Procházka faces a guy that's a bit more technical than him, and in this case, a bit more technical than him, or not, I just said this fucking same thing twice, kind of a little bit more than just a bit more technical than him, you're going to see him have a bit of success, and you're going to see him have moments in this fight, and I really do think he's going to have moments in this fight. He likes to work at range. He doesn't mind being on the back foot. He doesn't mind being on the back foot. He was against Jan Blachowicz. He was able to, like I said, he was able to pick his moments. He was able, he's using his jab right here. He's using the Simpleton's jab. What you don't know about the Simpleton jab is that when you're going up against a guy like Carlos Simpleton Oberg, the Simpleton jab works, and it's gonna work every time. It's gonna work against Jan Blachowicz, Jiří Procházka, or even an Alex Pereira. It's going to work against those guys because it's a Simpleton's game. But it's a Simpleton's game. The Simpleton's game is always going to work. You know what I mean? And all right, that's enough of me yapping. Like I said, this guy doesn't mind being on the back foot. And one thing I do think he does really well is that while he is on the back foot, he doesn't really, for the most part, let the cage be cut off. He finds moments where he's on the back foot, but like I said, he'll bring out the Simpleton's 1-2 calf kick, and then he'll circle the fence back in the middle, and rinse and repeat. And that's really what that Jiří Procházka Jan Blachowicz fight was. I think it was 15 minutes of that. And he was just able to get the better moments out of Jan Blachowicz. It was a close fight. But I think he got the better moments. I think he landed more. And I think he was just a little bit faster, a little bit younger, a little bit more in his prime than Jan Blachowicz. Which brings me to my last point of Carlos Oberg. The biggest storyline that we have going in is, can he beat an in his prime elite guy? We haven't seen that. Maybe you could argue that Dominic Reyes was, a part of that. But, it's Dominic Reyes we're talking about. He's not really elite. If he won that fight, maybe we could say he's coming back to being elite. But Carlos Oberg has never beat an in his prime elite guy. That's just the reality of it. Jan Blachowicz was fucking 42 years old, 43 years old, whatever the fuck. And maybe he's not completely out of his prime, but he's definitely not in his prime. So I think this is the biggest storyline that we have with Carlos Oberg. And we're just going to have to see. Jiří Procházka is going to be by far the most in his prime elite guy that he has faced. So we'll see if he's going to get it done. Now, my prediction, my breakdown, what I think is going to happen in this fight. Guys, I think I laid it out pretty clearly. I think Carlos Oberg is going to have a lot of success round 1, round 2. As we see in the Jiří Procházka fights, I think he's going to land a little bit more. I think he's going to be able to find his range a little bit more. I think at times he'll be on the front foot, but for the most part, he'll be on the back foot, which I have said he doesn't mind. He'll be on the back foot. He'll get the cage cut off. He'll hit the Simpleton's 1-2 calf kick, and he'll stun Jiri. He's going to... I can guarantee this. He's going to quote unquote stun Jiri with a calf kick. He's going to wobble him. Jiri's going to want to do one of those, get up with one hand on the ground, and he's going to get back up, and he's going to go, huh. He's going to go, huh, come on, is that all you got? That exact moment is going to happen, guys. Trust me, it's going to fucking happen. And Carlos Oberg is going to touch up Jiri with the 1-2. But ultimately, guys, when it comes to Jiří fucking Procházka, there is just no way you can come in here and base off a fight of his on X's and O's. You just fucking can't. Because I think this guy is going to go out there, second half of the second round, third round, and he's just going to say, what the fuck am I doing? I just have to get in front of him, start fucking throwing hands, cut the cage off effectively. And we've seen Carlos Oberg, what happens when someone effectively cuts off the cage. Kennedy in Neshikuku fucking slimed this guy. Kennedy in Neshikuku, fuck me, bro. Don't make fun of me, by the way I said that. My boy Kennedy cut the cage off effectively, caught him slacking, and knocked his ass out. And I think if Kennedy can do that to you, I think Jiri's going to be able to cut the cage off effectively like he did against Khalil Rountree. I think in that third round, in that second half of the second round, when he started to cut off the cage and make Khalil Rountree uncomfortable, that's when he won the fight. That's when you knew it was Jiří fucking Prochazka time, and he got it done. And I think he's going to get done in a similar fashion. I think Carlos Oberg is going to start to get uncomfortable, start to kind of shell up a little bit. Jiri's going to land a lot of shots, and ultimately, Jiří fucking Prochazka is going to be light heavyweight champion again, man. Come on. Let's fucking go. Jiří Prochazka by TKO. Fuck the X's and O's. Fuck the simpletons game. Fuck the 1-2 calf kick merchant. Jiří Prochazka is a fucking dog, and he's just going to get it done. And I'm going to say third round TKO, fourth round TKO. I think Jiří Prochazka is going to get it fucking done, man. I think this guy's just a fucking G, and there's no other way to put it. Carlos Oberg has crumbled before, and we've never seen Jiri crumble. We've seen him get knocked out, but we haven't seen him crumble. I don't think Carlos Oberg has enough power to where if he doesn't land fucking flush multiple times, he's going to knock Jiri out. So ultimately, I'm going to pick Jiří Procházka, TKO, rounds 3, rounds 4. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. That was my prediction for UFC 327, the title fight that we have. Jiri against Oberg. Jiří Procházka will be a champion once again. Mark my words. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a really good, interesting fight. Even if I think people are thinking about it too much. It's not a hard fight to predict. It's a Jiří Procházka fight. Just pick him to win by TKO. Round 3, round 4. It doesn't fail most times, and I don't think it will this time. Carlos Oberg is not going to be a light heavyweight champion, bro. I won't let it happen. We won't let it happen. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. I really do appreciate you guys watching. I promise I am actually fucking back this time. Like I've said, since the start of the year, 2026 is the year of Halo MMA. And I'm going to make it happen. Mark my words. But yeah, guys. For the final time, I'm going to say peace out. Make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment what you want to see. And I'll see you next time. Peace.